Welcome, everybody, to another Prime Reviews. Today, we're going to look at the new edition of the game Blood Bowl. But I cannot do this alone because for years now, I've talked about the game of Blood Bowl with my podcast partner, Steve Kilowoggy Campbell. Steve, let's get you in on this show.
Hello. How's it going?
Man. Thanks for joining me for Prime Reviews. This is kind of different since I've never had a guest on, and it's an honor to have you as my first guest on Prime Reviews.
I will take it. The honor is all yours. So,
what's that?
I said the honor is all yours.
It is all me. That's right. I'm excited because just recently on our Both Down podcast, bothdown.com, where you can follow me and Steve, and we talk about the game and our love for the game of Blood Bowl. You can see it right here. We've been a podcast for what now? 10 years, Steve?
Coming up on 10 years, yeah.
Almost 10 years. We've done a long journey. We look at the game Blood Bowl. While it's a strategic game with dice and strategies and all that, we also look at this as a sports role-playing game. So for us, the backstory is just as important as the mechanics of the game.
You know, I think we recorded our first episode pretty much 10 years to the day almost.
Yeah, I believe you're right. It's a
Dirk's old studio.
Hey, Facebook user, how you doing? Generic Facebook user.
My favorite people.
We are recording this live, so we're gonna maybe have a few people, jump in here and ask questions. But really, we want to just talk about the new game Blood Bowl. Steve, you have the product in hand. We got some advanced copy of the game Blood Bowl, as you can see there. If I can get producer Dirk to take me off the screen, and we'll put Steve on there. There you go. As you can see, it's a great big shiny box. It has it's called Blood Bowl Second Season Edition, and this is a game that features the Human Nobility team and the Black Orc team, which are two new teams to the tabletop game of Blood Bowl.
And it's so shiny, you can see my screen in the background.
We sure can. Anyways, this box is different, right, Steve?
In what way?
It comes with more stuff, is what I'm trying to get at. If you played Blood Bowl in the past, they've had these starter boxes that come with 12 figures for each team. This new edition comes with a more complete team, and it comes with a large monster, or a big guy, as we call it in Blood Bowl.
Let's look at this. We got this is the Human Nobility team and the star player, and I think the ogre, because now it's a full team, a star player and a big guy, and they're red.
I love that they're changing the color of the plastics. Continue to do that so you can play if you don't want to paint.
The Black Orc, 2 big sprues, 4 little sprues,
and that comes with the full Black Orc team and an extra troll. And
star player.
Varagard Gulture.
Here's 2 referee models. So we're talking 40, what did I say, 40 models in the game? Or was it 30?
Let's see, 30.
It's 14, so it's 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then templates to actually play the game, which, we've always had. But it's just a lot of figures this time.
It is a lot of stuff. The retail price for this, it goes on sale on Black Friday, is $140, which to maybe other tabletop gamers, they think that's a big price. But to us Blood Bowl people, this is a lot of value because you get 2 dice sets. Do you have those in hand too, Steve?
Sure do. We have translucent red and translucent green to go with the red and the green sprues. Yeah.
So, you're getting dice. You're getting 2 sets of dice, 2 full teams, which is a first because in the past you've always had to buy that big guy separate or that, extra star player. So crazy value.
Alone on Forge World, which is a site where you can buy specially made star players. They're $30 each and they're from England. So
right. It's shipping alone.
The value on this box set is insane. When we actually knew what it was, I guessed 150 because I thought, they wanted to keep it low to get people in the game. You thought I was crazy. Another podcast was going 200, 225.
Right.
So the fact that it's actually under what I said, that's huge.
And if you're not familiar with Games Workshop, they do some fantastic models, but boy, they are proud of them. And they're good. They're good quality as well, though.
Yeah.
Why don't you show off that rule book? I'm going to have Dirk take me off of this screen so you can show off the big chunky rule book.
Look at that.
It is a hardcover.
So I'm not really sure how many pages. Let me look real quick. About 138 pages.
We have wanted a hardcover Blood Bowl rule book for years now, and we finally got it. And this might be the first hardcover type of rule book since like the second edition Star Player books that I know of.
Well, they've done the almanacs year after year, but that's just a compilation of stuff. And this is just an example of some of the art that drives us in the game. And then the figures from the teams.
Yeah, it's great stuff. What else are we missing out of that box? Anything?
Let's see. We have just a giant sheet. Just looks like it's just to protect the figures from the book. But it shows all the other teams that are out painted. And for this game, it's not like a lot of games where you just buy it and that's it. This game has a whole bunch of extra stuff that you can get into. And like if you want to play a halfling team or a dwarf team, those boxes are out there. Or you just make up your own. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. And that's where a lot of the fun will come in.
Right. I played when I first started playing Blood Bowl. I played back in second edition. I was in junior high, so this game has been around for 30 plus years. And
it was about 88.
What's that?
Second edition was around 88.
Right. So it's been a long time, and we couldn't afford all the extra models back in the day because like a team was like $20 or $25 for a metal team. So we used those plastic miniatures as proxies to whatever it was. Yeah. You put a number on them and you just accepted like, oh, number 6, he is a orc blitzer. Number 8 is he's a goblin or whatever. And that's what we went with. Facebook user asked, the book looks great. I know there'll be lots of leaks. Have we had a chance to go through the book yet to verify the leaks?
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, unfortunately, the book did get leaked, about a month and a half, 2 months before the game, even we got access to it. Mm-hmm. So those leaks were legit. So we saw almost the whole rule set. Well, we did see the whole rule set. The only things that we were missing was some of the fluff. But it's all there. It's all the same that we can tell. Haven't gone through bit by bit, but there's just no way there would be anything different.
We have play tested a few games for those out there wondering. We are big fans of these new rules. Now, we were big fans of the old rules, but we feel like this just is making everything better. So you want me to we're really excited and look forward.
Jeffro said that he's here for the toys. So you want me to go back through the last few things that are in the box?
Sure. Show off the last few things of the box.
So we got cheat sheets, and if you notice, they have different symbols. So the symbols are for the different teams. It tells you how to play, and it has the rosters of the teams on the bottom. So it's just a quick way to know how to play. Just like
open one of those up, Steve. Just show everybody how. I think that's really neat. It almost reminds me of like a Dungeon Master screen.
So as you can see, it basically tells you how to play, what you do after the game, what a turnover is, the weather table. It has all these rules that instead of looking at the rule book, which, obviously you want to, but if you want to just jump into the game, just like any quick rule set, this will let you. And it's a cheat sheet that you can take with you to games and, just reference real quick when you have any problems. So the final thing, we have an instruction manual telling us how to put some figures together, which obviously you'll have to have. We've got some transfer decals so that you can put numbers and positions on the players. And then we have the pitch and sidelines, which they're just too big right here to tell you or to show you. So the easy thing is I'll just bring back up the box. So this is the game. That's what the pitch looks like. That's what the figures look like. And if you're thinking, wow, that looks a lot like football, you're right. It is a lot like football, just with fantasy characters. So you've got your human nobility team, you got your black orc team, all painted. That's another thing. You can paint these things however you like. If you're really good at it, let us know. We'll be happy to send you some to test on.
Exactly.
But that's how you use the sidelines. It's all included. It tells you exactly how to use everything. $140 for this, like I said, is a steal because not only do you have the game to play with you and another friend as one-offs, but you can start there and then catapult. Like you back in the day, you, a couple of your friends, what did you play? Like 14 teams times 14 teams?
When we originally got the second edition book, it showed that there was 40 teams in this league, and we thought that's what you did. You played all 40 teams. Well, there was only 3 of us. I'd say 3.5, because we had one friend that would come in during the summers, and he would, play a few games with us, and he would leave and then come back. He was in a divorced family, so he'd get taxied up to Choctaw every now and then, and we all divided up the 40 teams. So we all had 13 teams each. And then we had a floating 40th team that was a goblin team that whoever played when they needed to. And it was crazy that we played out this whole league and season. So
it is 2-sided. I'm trying to.
Oh, is Dustin asking a question here?
Someone...
He says, is this where we see the new plastic addiction sets? That is right. Dustin. Steve has already showed those off, but let's move on to the next product GW sent us.
That's the other side of the pitch, for those wondering.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So, sorry.
No, Facebook user, the field is dual-sided. One side looks almost like the second edition Astro Granite, while the other side looks like the third edition pitch of grass.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this up to my camera the best I can here and try to show off, maybe with or without the glare, if I can get this thing to focus. Here is the Necromantic Horror Blood Bowl team that GW sent us. As you see, the what used to be called the whites are now wraiths. So now we have ghosts on this team, along with your Frankenstein type characters, your flesh golems, and your werewolves, along with some ghouls and some zombies. I really love these models. I already have a necro team, and I know I'm trying to get this thing to focus in here. Boy, going live is crazy, isn't
it? You're good.
And then I'll flip this over here and see if we can get a little better look here. Anyways, they really themed this team kind of a Halloweenish type theme, which,
for sure. Yeah.
Which really kind of should be. You got little monsters and ghosts and zombies and stuff like that. So very neat. I was very happy. We did not expect to get one of these in the mail. They sent us these, and so now I got the team, and man, I've got to pull this out and put it together. In addition to that, people were asking about special play cards. If you were pre-ordering on Saturday, you were thinking like, do we need these cards? Well, Steve, what do you think on that opinion?
We usually think that cards are a waste of money because of the way they do some of the other cards. They are a waste of money, but these, they're great. They're used for inducements in the game. What that means, if you're not familiar, is one team could be, the world champion New England Patriots level. The other team could be 1980s Dallas Cowboys level, so not too good. So in order for the stadium to be happy, they want to make sure that the teams are equal so they can give inducements. Well, these cards let you do those inducements. So it's like $27, I think, but it's well worth it if you're going to play a league or, any games at all, really.
What we really love about this new set is like you get a lot of stuff in the box for $140. And then if you wanted extra stuff, you can get these inducement cards that we were just talking about. If you didn't have the money to buy a new set, but you wanted the new rules, Games Workshop for the first time made separate rule books so you can pick up for $50. So you can still get all the rules that you need to play with your old stuff separately.
Yeah.
That was always a really hard thing to do, is try to get new people to play, but tell them that they needed to buy a $100 box set when they just wanted the rules. So now they have that. These cards, go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say the separate rules are the same rule book that comes in the game.
Exactly. The hardcover, everything.
$50. You have everything you need. And really, that's all you need. You can make a pitch off of paper. You can put down coins or whatever Lego pieces you have to make teams, and you can play it.
But it's always better with the good stuff.
Oh yeah. Then you get addicted, and then you start buying teams, and
then you buy more teams and more teams and more teams. Here we have some of these special play cards. If you notice at the top over here, they have numbers. This is for the Prayers of Nuffle table. So in the rule book, you would actually roll on the Prayers of Nuffle table, and you have these cards as references. So if I was playing Steve and we were sitting across the kitchen table and he randomly rolled a number 4, or number 3, the stiletto here, he could hold on to this secretly until it was time to use this. So these are really helpful. In addition to Prayers of Nuffle, they have Miscellaneous Mayhem.
Jeffro wants us to read a wacky new card.
A wacky new card. Okay, let's see here. This one is called Training Troubles. Rumor has it this card has recently lost its training ground. This card. Let me start over. Rumor has it this team has recently lost its training ground. It's really starting to show. Timing. Play this card during any start of the drive sequence in which your team is the kicking team. After step 3, but before the start of the receiving team's turn. Duration, the card expires at the end of this drive. Effect, while this card is in play, every player on the opposing team that does not have the loner trait gains loner +2 trait instead.
Ooh, that's nasty.
So I'm trying to focus here.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can pause this and read it if you want later. So that's a Miscellaneous Mayhem. You still have Magic Memorabilia.
Yeah, there's 6 different sets of 8 different cards. So there's a ton of cards in the back.
There you go. Benefits of Training, Heroic Feats. Now, what we have not done is pulled out the old cards to see if these match directly.
Right. And we're not going to really because...
And yeah, we're not going to. I do love the new design on these. I don't know why. I dig the red, white, and blue colors. I think it really pops. The old stuff was really gritty. It was good, but I really kind of like this new design. So
it seems to be taking it to a much cleaner look. So
with that said,
I also have one other thing if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, go for it, bro. I have it. I forgot they gave us this. Good timing on this. If my producer will swipe us in here and give me the whole thing here.
You know, like Scott said, there are other play testers or people out there that might have got a copy of this game. But no one to our knowledge has a copy of this book except us.
So this is the Spike 11. This is like a featurette. It totally looks at the necromantic undead team. It gives you all sorts of details. It gives you the stuff we like, the background, the fluff, the story behind the game.
And we go more in depth in an episode that we're putting out tomorrow. Is that correct? That's
right. We're not going to give too much away of this except to say that I think both agree that we really loved this book as well.
Yeah.
The new episode for BothDown.com or for the Both Down podcast is going to be on BothDown.com tomorrow. Probably by the time you wake up. I believe I have it automatically popping up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And me and Steve cover this issue from the front page to the back page and go over all the details, the new things that are in there. Weeks before you can buy it.
It is pretty awesome, honestly. The fact that Games Workshop, who is a giant company, has been around for a long time, is actually, letting us have sneak previews. The giant inducement is not covered in anything now.
Nothing that we've seen, no. The giant is not covered in it. We have no theories or we don't know what they're going to do for the old teams. Believe it or not, they sent us this stuff, but they haven't asked us to our opinions on things yet. So we're hoping that one day that will happen.
Yeah, sure. But no.
We're really proud of this because, we've been doing our podcast now for, like Steve said earlier, nearly 10 years. And this is kind of a big deal to get this product in hand and get it early. And they trusted us to not leak it until the date that they gave us. And that's when we put up our podcast. So what rules are in the Spike that are not in the new rule book?
I guess you'll just have to listen to the new episode of Both Down tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, Jeffro, you're just going to have to listen. We're not going to give it all the way here on the YouTube show. All right. This is like a cross-promotion thing, bro. Overall, This is a prime review. Normally I do comics, toys, and games or whatever I feel like doing. So this one's kind of different since we're doing this live. And I have a guest here today. What do we think about the new Blood Bowl, Steve?
We have both, ever since the rules have been leaked and we've gone over it and discussed it with other people, we're extremely excited. The only drawback right now is COVID's going crazy, so we don't have a way to actually get out there and play games like we'd like to.
Exactly. So.
But that being said, in the future, we'd love to. If you're at all interested in this game, I'd say pick it up, at least pick up the rule book. You know, you can talk to Scott if you've heard him talk about the game in many episodes, as he normally does. You know, there's a reason we do a podcast and travel. I went to Dornbirn, Austria with friends last year to a tournament that had 1,500 people just playing this game.
Yeah, and it only looks like Blood Bowl's growing and growing. I mean, this is a great sign knowing that the game, they feel so strongly about the game that they released a new rule set for it. So.
There is Blood Bowl 2, the video game that's out there currently. Blood Bowl 3 will be coming out beginning of next year. Hopefully we'll get an early advanced copy of that as well. But, you know, we'll see.
We love you too, Jeffro. With that said, I think this wraps it up. Yeah, we are both looking really forward to this edition of Blood Bowl, and really the hardest thing is to get together, and I want to get a store league going. I don't want to play Steve 5 times. I don't want to play my buddy Gary 5 times in a row. I don't want to play Steve and Gary off and on for 5 times each.
He doesn't want to play you two, trust me.
We want to play other people. We want to see how these new skills and the team advancements, the random skills. Now we have rules for random skills, which we never had before. We are really excited about this, and I hope it's as good as I think it's going to be, like a year to a year and a half from now after playing a lot more of it. So with all that said, I think we're going to wrap this up for our prime review. If you enjoyed this show, you had fun watching us talk about this stuff. I do the same thing with comics and some other games and hopefully some toys. And, check us out here at Taskforce Geek. You can subscribe. You can check us out every Tuesday night, as we have a show every Tuesday night. We have a guest. We have our regulars. We've been getting some really awesome guests of late. We've had a Marvel DC inker, Mark McKenna, on. Tomorrow night, we have Mike Barron, 2-time Eisner Award winner writer for Nexus and Punisher, and he did several things, creator of Badger. He's going to be on tomorrow night. So check us out live. Great job, guys. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We've had this guy on too. Ryan's been on the show before with his movie. So we've been working hard not to really be like social media giants, but we're getting there. And, anyways, check me and Steve out at bothdown.com for more. Steve also does another podcast. What is it? The World Cup Report?
World Cup Report, yeah.
Yeah, so, we got our fingers everywhere. So, anyways, for Scott Prime and Steve Kilowoggy Campbell.
Thanks for having me.
This was a Prime Review. Thanks for watching. Bye.